Hey guys, DragonCard7 here, and welcome to a new card review, where I review on the card's art, effect, and how many decks that this card would be perfect in. Today I got a request from a good old friend of mine, Midnight Prime, and she wanted me to reveal Jurrac Giganoto. I think that's how you say it. She also wanted me to reveal Fortune Lady Dark, but I could only do one card per card review, so I'll save that card for another time. She wanted me to reveal Jurrac Giganoto because she likes Jurracs. A girl that likes dinosaurs. I think she's a tomboy. Well, anyways, with all that said and done, let's get this card review started. Let's talk about its artwork. Jurrac Giganoto does look pretty cool to me. He's a fucking dinosaur with flame on his fucking head. He has a blue body with a yellow on his feet, his hands, and even on his head with a bit of red on his surrounding his eyes. We also see flames in the background, but unfortunately this is a secret rare, which it's really hard to see the background, which we all know how secret rares are infamous for their glitter backgrounds and all that shit. And it looks like this thing is about to, terrorize you and pretty much fucking kill you. I think it could shoot fire out of his mouth. I don't know, I never seen it in the fucking anime. No one plays this card in the anime, which that's a letdown. But either way, its artwork is pretty basic, but sometimes basic artwork does work quite well on some cards, which I don't mind basic artwork. So when it comes to its artwork, it is getting a 4.5 out of 5 for me. Okay, let's talk about its effect. It needs one tuner and one or more non-tuning dinosaur type monsters. All face-up Jurrac monsters you control gain 200 attack for each Jurrac in your graveyard. So pretty much for what I'm seeing for its effect, it's kind of like a Blue-Eye Shining Dragon and an Elemental Hero Shining Flare Ringman, but not. Pretty much, for each Jurrac in your graveyard, all Jurrac monsters you control gain 200 attack points. To me, that's pretty good, because this effect does not only apply to Giganoto, but it applies to all your other Jurrac monsters as well. But it's only good for Jurracs. And most likely, you can tell from the requirements, you're going to be needing dinosaurs to order to summon this thing. And his attack is 2100, and let's do some good old math equations, motherfuckers. Like, what if you have, 5 Jurracs in the graveyard? That equals 1000 attack, because 5 times 2 equals 10, which that equals 1000 attack points. So combine that with Giganoto's current attack, his attack will automatically be 3100 attack points. That's pretty strong for a level 7. So overall, the effect is quite good. I really do like it a lot. It is very useful for Jurracs indeed, but it's only useful for Jurracs. So for the effect, it's getting a 4 out of 5. Okay, let's talk about deck choices. Most likely for this card's effect, and judged by with its requirements, you're most likely going to be needing a dinosaur/Jurrac deck. Which, these decks are quite easy to build, and not that expensive at all when it comes to the current format. So with that, here are the cards that I would highly recommend for your quote-unquote Jurrac deck. For what I've been seeing of certain Jurrac monsters, they most likely swarm the field and they have high attack points. Which one of them I will highly recommend is Jurrac Hella, which I think that's how you pronounce it. Because when a defense position Jurrac monster you control is destroyed by battle and sent to your graveyard, you can special summon this thing from your hand or graveyard. So if any time that your Jurrac monster gets destroyed, you can just special summon Hella onto the field. And it's a level 6, so if you have 2 Hellas on the field, you could pretty much exceed someone for a rank 6, like Photon Strike Bouncer, or probably number 25, Focus Force. But I would most likely highly recommend Photon Strike Bouncer if you do, because it's kick-ass! I highly recommend level 4 Jurrac monster is Jurrac Velo, which I think that's how you pronounce it. Because once this thing is in attack mode, attacks or is attacking, gets destroyed by battle, and sent to the graveyard, you can special summon one Jurrac monster you control with 1700 or less attack. Which I guess you can say it's the search support for this deck if it gets destroyed. Which, it's pretty good. It's pretty much Masked Dragon, but for dinosaurs, and it's pretty much more beefed up than Masked Dragon. And judged by Giganoto is a level 7, you're gonna be needing most likely a level 4 non-tuning Jurrac monster with a level 3 tuner. Which these are the 3 Jurrac level 3 tuners that I will highly recommend. There are 2 other Jurrac tuners out there which If you want to put them in, then be my guest, but I would highly recommend these three if you want to summon Giganoto with your level 4 Jurrac monster already on the field. If you want to go ahead and put Element Source in there, that would be a cool and interesting choice, because with its effect, if there's like a certain monster on the field that is a certain attribute, it gets one of the following effects. If there's like a fire monster on the field, it gains 500 attack. And if there's an earth monster on the field, negate the effect of an effect monster that this card destroyed by battle. Which, it's pretty cool, but I will not recommend it unless you want to go for it and want to have a 2000 attacker around the bat on the field. If you do have a lot of level 3 dinosaur monsters in your deck, which that is kind of hard because there are not that many of them except for the tuners within this deck, I would recommend Giganoto because he seems like the only Exceed monster that is dinosaur, that is fire attribute, and can somewhat work with this deck, but barely enough level 3s, but it's just a thought. If you want to go for it, then go right towards it. A spell card that I would highly recommend for this deck is Fossil Dig. This pretty much add one level 6 or lower dinosaur monster from your deck to your hand, which judging by this deck has a lot of them. I would highly recommend Fossil Dig. There are two field spells that I would recommend, which there are Molten Destruction and Jurrac World. If you're gonna have Jurrac World in your deck, then I would highly recommend putting in Destroyer Source, because if you have this card in your hand and if you need Jurrac World like as soon as possible, you can just discard Destroyer Source to pretty much add Jurrac World deck to your hand. But if I have to choose either one of the field spells over the other, I will highly recommend Molten Destruction. Judging by this deck will most likely have nothing but fire monsters in here, and judging by this deck is most likely highly when it comes to attack and having beefed up monsters on the field, I will most likely recommend Molten Destruction. So when it comes to deck choices, most likely decks that are dinosaur/Jurrac base. That's pretty much what this card is most likely useful for anyway. So when it comes to deck choices, it gets a 3.5 out of 5. Alright, time for the final results. Overall, Jurrac Giganoto is one pretty cool dinosaur synchro monster. Pretty basic and cool looking art. A really good attack gaining ability. And most likely for decks, it's good for Jurrac dinosaur decks. I may not be the biggest fan when it comes to dinosaur-based monsters in Yu-Gi-Oh, but Giganoto is a pretty cool card overall, and I really don't mind it. I'm a big fan of synchro monsters, and this monster is pretty cool kick-ass synchro monster for all those dino lovers out there. So when it comes to my overall score of Jurrac Giganoto, it gets a 4 out of 5. So there you have it, guys. That is my card review on Jurrac Giganoto. And thank you, Midnight Prime, for allowing me to reveal this card for you. Link to her channel will be down in the description box down below. Now next week on card reviews, I'm going to be tackling the other card that she wants me to reveal, which that'll be Fortune Lady Dark, so be expecting that one soon, guys. And if you guys have any cards you want me to reveal for future episodes, just leave your thoughts and ideas in the comments down below, and I'll see what I can do for a future episode. So remember, guys, comment, rate, subscribe, and until next time, later, Dragon Core 7, signing out.